Hello there, my name is Chris, aka The Jackal, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're being productive. I hope you've done something, you've created some kind of whip. That is a win in its own. So what we're going to be talking about today, well, what do we know? What we got? What's happening? What do you know, Chris? What do you know? Alright, so I've got two books and the old book I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show you my finished devil picture pattern, not pattern, stitch, the one I showed before, and I'm going to show you some pictures of artwork that may be ending up as possible cross stitches in the very near future, and as some pictures will be a part of my Halloween thing. Okay, so that's cool. So actually let's do the artwork first, because let's get that out of the way. So if you're not interested in my patterns and my artwork, this is a good time to go and have a cup of tea. Alright, ooh, that was a bit wibbly wobbly. Alright, so first one, there we go. Evocation, a word for summoning. Bunch of witches and a little house for the witches. So there we go. I've done these patterns to be simple and easy, like to just stitch so you guys could be able to like bash them out at a quick pace if you wanted to. I've got some slightly more complex ones as well. Anyway, here we are. She met a wolf man, I think it says. Yes, there we go. She met a wolf man. Now you may notice that the ink has dribbled between his legs and has accidentally formed a wolf winky. And let me tell you now, that was not on purpose, but probably won't be in the actual cross stitch. You'll have to stitch the winky in. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Moving on from the Wolfman Winky, she met a seductive vampire. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Simple black stitching on ideally a blue dyed cloth canvas, whatever the word is. Yeah. Here we are. This is The Mayor Didn't Listen. There's a monster on the roof. It's the middle of the night. There's the lady. It's just a bit of fun. I don't know about that one, but you know. This one I need some help with. It'll be really cool if you can help me, actually. And this is She Met a Sky Pirate. I'd like you to tell me what she does after, like, you know, and I'll give you an example of the next one. Is she met a scarecrow and fell in love. So she met a sky pirate. She met a sky pirate, and then what? So there we go. Fill in the sentence for me, and then I'll put it in because it's a team effort. Anyway, this one's more of a comedy piece. There we go. The witch is on the stake thing, and they're trying to burn her, but it doesn't matter because a little devil has got a bucket of water. I did that while particularly high on coffee. I'm high on coffee right now, if you didn't know. This one, Templar Stitcher. Just a fun little red pattern. Might not become a stitch. I like the idea of conspiracy theories and things like that. You know, the Illuminati. Not because, you know, not for being like a nut about it or being really into it or whatever you want to, however you want to view it. Just because I just love stories. I just love the whole thing that they do with that. So there we are. That's another one, Hatman. There's a tree under a house. As you can probably tell, the house has hands and eyes. And it's the tree has hands and eyes. And that was really fun. The next one is Witches. Again, when this gets converted into a cross stitch, as you know, it'll look different. You know, slightly. 3 witches around a cauldron. Create my own little symbol for witches as well. You see on the cauldron? So it's like tangled roots. It's like the concept of bondage, of sisterhood, you know. Bonding, sisterhood, that kind of thing. So then I did this. Some of you may have seen that one before. There we go. See, there's a monster stalking the lady. And then anyway, the next one here. There we go. This story is about this lady here, and it's just about her going home and she's being stalked by this monster. But this monster and her and the story of that going along, which hasn't been finished. It's basically just a story about, like, she's had a bad day at work, and, like, I don't know if you've ever had a really bad day at work or wherever you go, and a bad day, and then you spend, maybe you're on a walk or something, and you're walking back, or you're driving back, you know, in your car. That's a car. You know, you've got all the thoughts in your head of how it went, and who said this and who said that, and what should have said, and how this should have been, and you did this, and then you start getting into actual arguments about it, and then you get very carried away. I could just be being extremely autistic right now for some reason, but I think everybody does that, and that's really what that monster represents. It's just that fight with yourself, creating fake scenarios. Here is a fantastic little picture. There we go. Some clever munchkins have noticed that there is a red blood pool here. She's got red on her, and there's a man up in the tree, the body of a tree, so perhaps the tree has eaten him. It's really just a mini story piece, but I love that. I just love that type of thing. It's almost cinematic. I like that. There we are. This is a giant helping a woman get back home to her husband at the church. Bit of fun. This one, just a triple one. Just a nice little image, really. 3 images. I was thinking the concept of a triptych, like maybe you did each one, and then each one was in a separate frame. You know. Here, another witch one, with a devil. It's got a spectral spirit cat coming out of the cauldron. This cat is unsure about that situation. He's like, nah, and the witch is like, whatever the count is, counter is to whatever. You know what I'm saying. Moving on. Here we are. We've got this one. This one is a cross stitch. This one, and it looks very bland, right? I know what you're saying. You're like, there's a lot of white space, Chris. Are you sure? I'm not sure about that. Well, the truth of the matter is, when it goes into Photoshop, I've coloured in this and in the sky and all this stuff. Like, this is like a soil colour, and it's got patterns in it and stuff like that. So it's different on the thing. It's different on the thing. There we go, another witch one. And she's got, a lot of my work uses the concept of monolith, of like a strong kind of sculptural structure, like this devil is here, to represent something. And it's basically how she controls that masculine energy with kind of like a finesse, like, you know, like with ease, you know. So it's a sense of actual feminine power over masculine power, in this case, which I find fascinating. So there we go. Oh, and finally, is it time for tea? I think it is. It hasn't been today. I've drunk 4 cups of coffee so far. But don't worry, I'm sure I can get a 5th in. If it doesn't kill me first. So there's that. That's really cool. Just a simple one. And I like simple ones. I love doing simple stuff just because it's nice to get a cross stitch done. Sometimes it's nice to do a simple one. That's what I liked about the little devil that Kay made. It's small and simple, that one, and people can just like create it. My mum did that one, and it just, you know, you can do it quick enough. So, moving on to the books. So I picked up 2 new books in my processes of walking around. And here's this one. This is called The Great Cross. It's got a sticker called Muscle Fit on it. What do those old ladies get up to in those second-hand shops? Well, they're probably having more fun than us, aren't they? Anyway, look at this. This was a gift from someone to someone. It says, "To Maureen with love from Ralph. Christmas 1986. That's nice, isn't it? Wonder how they're doing. So, anyway, this is the Great Cross Stitch Projects and Patterns by Marshall Cavendish. That's a great name. So it's this sort of thing. It's just like nice pictures, but which is good. I like it. You know, I like it. It helps me. It helps me learn the patterns. Like, if you think of coming to this hobby afresh, like where I'm coming from, it's like new. Everything is new. I'm like on the frontier. I feel like I'm traveling towards Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Like the American wagon times chaperoos. It's just like it's a whole new frontier, and like I've got to learn how to do it all, and I've got to learn the patterns and get familiar with things so I can speed up and enjoy the process even more, because I get frustrated sometimes when I'm so slow. Yeah, but I like this thing with cushions and stuff and flowers. I'd like to create some like mini cushions with skulls on. I'd like to do that. And skeletons perhaps, you know, like being silly and, you know, falling over. That kind of thing. So little cushions will be fun. I don't know if you can actually see all this. But lots of things. There we go. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I'm looking to start my next project. So I'm starting to look through stuff to try to find, like, look at that, isn't that cool? Like, is that like a moth or a butterfly? Is that a moth? I'm not very up on my butterflies and moths. Shame on me. Look at that though. Look at that top she's done. You know? Not too shabby, is it? If you really look at that. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. I always get sidetracked. Anyway, as you can see, it's animals and things, and I want to put these animals, and these gave me an idea that led me back to the book I showed you last time. Look at her, she's very serious and from the 80s. She is a fan of Pat Benatar, why not? Or what's her name? Wuthering Heights, or whatever it's called. I don't know why I can never remember names. But yeah, there we go. Kate Bush, there you go. Kate Bush, I like Kate Bush. Almost mystical. So that's that book. The other one I got, which does not have the word muscle fit written on it, is this one. Is Country Cross Stitch. I showed a picture of this on my Instagram account. So this is cool. I actually saved a bit out of it, but as you can see, there's lots of little patterns, which and of buildings. I love buildings. Buildings are good. Somebody showed me something to do with Russians doing these Russian chaps. They were doing like buildings and stuff, and the way they did this stitching and stuff is very interesting. Thank you for that. But like, look at that. This is very cool. All these different patterns of buildings. Look at that sheep. Look at that. Oh, piece of that action. Thank you very much, mister. And you can have £1 for it. Look at that. Some kids on a cushion. Not so fussed. Tractors. Yeah, that's cool. I can dig a tractor, you know. Or a tractor digs, actually. It's the other way around. I think it's a man. A cock wool. And a windmill. That's good. It's difficult when it's upside down. You end up not finishing the words of animals. And more kids with, what's that called? Maypole? Where they run around and sing the song of the plague or something, wasn't it? Woo, look at all that. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. This happened to me last time I opened this book. So many cool things. Do you know what, right? I just got to stop for a second. See this, right? There's like this bird, and it's got these dark lines around it. Is that like you sew, you don't do crosses anymore, like you sew over like a line, a tight line to create lines? Is that what it is? Because I wasn't sure. So answer that in the comments section below, because I actually do need some help with that. Anyway, I've gone on too long. Ooh, hello butterflies. This is the one I liked. Except I was probably going to replace the fruit and veg with monsters. So like you're growing monsters, like one line skeletons, one line devils, one line Cthulhu, whatever, you know. So this is like the pattern, and I can just rejig it, and then I would probably make that house like 20 times cooler with like spiky bits and curly things, and maybe formulate some eyes into that and turn the door into almost like a mouth. You know, I'm a big fan of Bosch, artist Duderino from back in the days when people painted mad stuff because there wasn't a lot to do. So that's good. And that was a good book. That I like that. So that was Country Cross Stitch. The other one was not Muscle Fit. The other one is actually called The Great Cross Stitch Projects and Patterns. And so yeah, I got this one for 99p in a charity shop. So what's that, about like $1.50 or something? I don't know. I'm not like I'm not a currency converter in the brain, so I don't know. This one was £1.49, so that's probably like, what's that, like $2–3, something like that. So that's real cool. Anyway, we're going back to this one we had last time, and all diggity dog, you got me all hot under the collar. I've come up with an idea of something I wanted to do. So I wanted to mix something to do with that house, right, or a house like that, and like creatures like this. like block creatures, like just filled in, like silhouettes. But instead of black, I might do, you know, instead of black, I might do like bright colours. Like, I really love the red of my devil picture. Did I show you my devil picture? I don't know if I did, but it's finished. Anyway, I changed the horns into more devilish horns, and I didn't like the sideways out because it reminded me of a guy who's not a real person, who's called Krusty the Clown, and that is a character from The Simpsons. And also reminds me a lot of William Shakespeare. And nobody wants to be associated with that vagabond. So anyway, the point is I've fallen in love with these silhouette things because I think I could do that easily and feel successful quicker, which I need some wins. So these things are pretty cool. So I quite like them, quite like those, and I'm going to make them colourful and so forth. If you haven't seen the previous one, like, look at that, isn't that cool? If you haven't seen the previous video where I showed this in, this is a book called Storyland Cross Stitch. It's got 15 projects and a free gift for your stitching pleasure. So if you need some extreme pleasure while stitching, this is the book for you. And it is What Delilah Did. That is the person who did it. So somebody called Delilah did this. But I would recommend this book, 100%, buy it new, second hand, whatever works for you. So there you go. I think that was a really good book, a really good buy. And I've also been looking at this as well. It's a Prairie Schooler. I'm a fan. Kay has been doing the fox. But I'm a fan, what was it? Where is he? I am a fan of the mice or the bears. Probably the bears. Yeah, I quite like that. So that's a possible as well. But like that mixed up. I'll probably edit it and do it a little bit my way. Pick my colours. So there we go. Yes, that's all I got to show for today. I'd like to thank everybody who has donated money on my site. That has been incredible. It has enabled me to get some trousers that don't have a hole in the crotch area. Well, I'm going to get this video banned, aren't I? And you know, that's been really great. That's been sensational. And it has been a great experience just being accepted. And I've enjoyed finding lots of other people and all their work and what they've been making. I've joined two groups, one called Stitch Mania and the other one called Male Cross Stitchers, and that was suggested to me by a guy, which I can't remember his name now, Gareth or Garrett, Barrett, something like that, sorry. It's not a personal thing, it's just I've got learning disabilities, it's really hard for me to remember names. And yeah, whoever you are, which I will know you in about 3 seconds when I look at the computer, thank you for that. Very helpful, mate. Very helpful. And lots of people have been really helpful. The site, the groups, the Facebook groups, like Stitch Mania and stuff, it's Cross Stitch Mania. They've been very friendly, very nice, very warm and welcoming. So yeah, that has been a good experience. So I'm on those now, and I've released the story to the midnight meeting. So that is up on my website now. If you want to read that. I will be doing an audio recording of that. If you're not into the reading, if you're dyslexic like myself, or you want to share the story with somebody who is also dyslexic, there'll be an audio of that eventually. And yes, that was really cool. So that's up. And if you haven't seen the previous video with me and Kay, we've got a whole bunch of new free patterns, a bunch of witches. Mine would be the red-haired and green dress. I really like that, and I quite like the black haired with the purple dress, but then I like all the others. I like, somebody said they were going to do like brown auburn hair with a grey dress. I like that. That's a great colour combination, absolutely super. And yeah, that was a good one. That was a good win, and everybody who's donated, fantastic. Thank you very much. That has been just fantastic. Everybody who has liked it, downloaded it, used it even, everybody who has watched this video, you watching this video right now, up to this point of the video, everybody who's just done anything positive in my direction, people on the Cross Stitch Mania and the Male Cross Stitchers, thank you for being very warm. It has made everything better for me. Like, I've had a really really tricky life. I've had a lot of closed doors to me, and I've had quite a few blows after like the autism tests, the BPD tests and things, and the dyslexia, and then then my mum as well, and then thinking that I wasn't going to have my mum for Christmas. That was a really big worry, and it's just little things like that. I'm very heartbroken, by those times, but then I'm very heart-mended. That's a word, isn't it? Heart-mended, by everybody who has come in and helped me. There's all sorts of you, like Black Cat 13, Ginny Pepper, and oh good lord, there's so many of you, just so many of you, just been like super friendly and super cool. Yeah, everybody who's come from my mum's channel just to say hi to me, just to say welcome, thank you. That's really cool, and it's just made the difference. It's made the difference. Like, you have to remember, I'm coming off the back end of a 10-year level of deep depression, and the second I just moved on from that and started to forgive myself and to search and to find something that I'm good at and that I can enjoy, finally start enjoying life, along come a bunch, hundreds of beautiful people at once. It's kind of confusing because it felt like for 10 years nobody, and then suddenly a flood of people. God moves in mysterious ways, or the universe moves in mysterious ways, or life just does, right? So that has been fantastic. So that is the end of this. I'd like to also just say thank you very much for being warm and opening and open to accepting Kay and letting her feel welcome. She's very nervous, like I was. You don't know, do you? You don't know how people are going to be towards you. So it's been really lovely for her. So I'd like to thank every single one of you who's been warm and enjoyed interacting with her. That's been wonderful. And I'd also like to thank you from the warmest, fuzziest parts of my heart. My little dog was very happy with the video. She said it was very good. She enjoyed it. She said it was probably 2 paws fresh. She thought it was good. Gave it a wag of the tail. And your responses cheered her up, of course. So that's all cool. So we've had some fun, and so there we go. So you've been incredible, super sexy, and I do love what you're wearing right now. And I have been me in all my glory, and we have had a great time together. It has been great fun. Thank you for making it this far to the end of the video. That's pretty stellar of you. And I shall see you in the next adventure. Bye bye. Also, hopefully I did press record this time.